to my channel, and today I have my mom here with me. I'm not really going to be in the videos, that's why I'm standing here. But anyway, so she just started her own YouTube channel, and I'm going to leave the info down below so you guys can make sure to follow her and subscribe to her channel. It is D-Tax Channel, and I'll leave it all down in the description box below so you guys can just give her a little follow. And here she is. She's going to talk to you guys. There were so many requests about her doing another video, so she's here to do another video for you guys. All right, so I'm gonna go and give it to my mom.
Hi everyone, hope everyone's starting 2018 really well. Thank you so much for all the amazing comments you left on Stephanie's channel. It was amazing. I've never done it before, and actually it was an inspiration to really get on with the times and start my own one and give information to everyone, clients, future clients, or just anyone that needs a little bit of guidance. Today I want to talk to you guys about preparing for your small business taxes. I know a lot of you have small businesses that or medium-sized businesses that you run out of your home or a small business location, and I just wanted to give you a little heads up on what some of the things that you should be doing. We're going to talk today about 2017, what just passed. Now 2018, a lot of things have changed, and that's some of the things I'm going to be talking about in my channel, and also I'll come back and talk to you guys a little bit about it here too. So the first thing is, the way that you should do it is you should get probably like a little a notebook or a box where you can go ahead and start making little kind of like we call it like little sections. The first one is revenues. So with revenues, you want to be able to get information on what is it that you sold during the year. You may already have this, hopefully, but if you don't, then you kind of have to start looking through your bank statements. You got to look through all the information you have as far as what did I sell during the year. Now,
Move your hand. You're shaking the desk.
Okay, so a lot of people say, well, you know what, I don't want to report, I got a lot of this stuff cash, this and that. Well, really think about that, because you know, if you don't report what you really are doing, then when you are ready to buy a house, buy a car, maybe get a small business line because you want to grow your business, or just really pretty much be able to go out there and get some kind of financing you want, or even a credit card. If you don't have any income, no one's really going to lend you money. They want to see that you are producing. So, and this becomes a bigger challenge when you're kind of have your own business, because a lot of times you don't have the documentation, you know, you don't have a W-2, you may not even have a 1099. A lot of you may have a 1099 because a lot of the credit card companies are now requesting that you give them your social, and at the end of the year, which is very important, you're going to be able to either download or you're going to get by mail a form called the 1099K. Well, that's really important because now the IRS has how much money you've sold. So that kind of has to be in agreement with what it is that you're going to report. You got to make sure that you've captured everything that at a minimum someone is reporting already to the IRS. So then you have to think about, you know, this is all I took by credit card. Did I have cash transactions? And that's how you start building what is it that I have as far as revenue is concerned. So very important that whatever it is that all your information that you have agrees to what's out there. Your bank statements, the 1099K that you may get from PayPal or the credit card servicer that you're using, all that Square, all that information has to be in agreement for this preparation of your tax return. Now, tax return, you know, we've talked about before, a tax return is either in your personal tax return because you have a small business with that's in your personal return, or it could be a partnership return, or it could be a corporation return. It all depends on what your structure is. So then we talk about the expense. Let's start talking a little bit about the expenses. A key number for you as far as expenses are two line items: cost of sales and also inventory. So you do a lot of purchases. So at the end of the year, you kind of have to have an idea, what do I have left of what I've purchased? because you may have all the invoices of who you purchased from or a listing, because I know, like in Stephanie's case, sometimes some of the things she buys is cash. You know, she meets up with someone and they give her one of the products that she's going to sell. Well, she needs to be able to value that so that she knows what her cost of sales is. And at the end of the year, she needs to be able to tell her accountant, listen, I purchased 100,000, let's say, in merchandise, but guess what? I still have 15 of it. So everything is not cost. There is still merchandise that has a value that you have to put somewhere else. You don't take it to an expense. So very important to keep track of that, because otherwise here you are with a 1099K from all these credit card that you've received of sales that you've done, and you know what, you didn't keep track of all your expenses. So the biggest line item that you may have, which is your cost of sales, you don't know what it is. And that's important to have documentation, because if you're ever audited and you don't have the documentation, how do you prove that that wasn't in effect something that you can deduct from the money that you received? So very important to keep that. Then let's talk about some of the expenses that you may have. Automobile, if you're going out and going to pick up merchandise at different places, it could be automobile, your miles, your travel. Maybe you actually traveled somewhere to pick up some merchandise because someone was going out of business and you wanted to pick up, you know, more than just one item. So you actually went on a flight, or you actually went and drove 200 miles. Then you had to stay overnight. All these things are related to you making that income. So those are expenses that you can take in your tax return. Also, some of the meals, you know, while you're away, some of those meals may be deductible. Meals is something that's changing in 2018, but you need to keep track. If you took a client out, you know, after you sold them an item, you took them out, that's a deductible meal, up to 50% of it. But you need to write down, I took such and such client out for a meal, and it was a client that I purchased an item from, or it was a client that I may do business in the future, or it was a vendor that's offering me a new pricing, or different things like that. Some of the other expenses that you're going to have is your telephone, your cell phone, your computer expenses, your marketing, any bloggers or anybody that you pay for advertising for you, all those are expenses. Now, key with this, if you're making payments to an individual and it's more than $500 for the year, you're going to have to issue that person a 1099. Those are due before January 31st. So that's important. Depending on the kind of structure and the kind of things you're doing in your business, it's important for you to have this information to know what it is that you have to do. As far as if you have any website expenses, also those, any marketing, anything that you purchased that was directly related for generating those sales are expenses. So you need to identify those. One key thing that I always tell Stephanie that's really important is try to set up a bank account that deals only with your business, because at the end of the year, it's going to be very easy. You print out that bank account or you print out that credit card, and guess what? You got all your expenses and you got all your revenues in there. So it's really important to keep segregation from all your personal stuff so that it's easy to determine how much should I sell, what are my expenses, what do I owe taxes on. Really important to keep in mind, if you're owing taxes at the end of a large amount of money, then it might be a good idea for you to start thinking about, should I set myself up on a salary for my business? Should I make estimated payments so I don't have to pay everything all at once at the end? All these are planning tools that, we're going to talk about. It's a completely different item that we can talk about in more detail, because it does take a little bit of planning and a little bit of setting up so that at the end of the year, you don't have this huge tax bill. And yes, you do report what you need to report, because it's kind of like a beginning for everything else in your life. Can't get a credit card, can't buy a house, can't buy a car if you can't show that you can afford it. And how do you show that you can afford it? Through your tax return. So that's pretty much it for today in a nutshell. And I'm going to be setting up some other you know, videos in our own channel for the firm. In the meantime, if I can, Steffi's going to leave my contact information. If I can be of any help, please reach out, email, call, whatever it is that I can help with. Here I am to help. Thank you so much. Pick me up at KFC. Okay, why isn't it happening?
No, it's recording.